And joining me now is Michigan's Attorney General, Dana Nessel. General Nessel, I appreciate your being here. It strikes me that Epic MRA poll, the second one we showed here, shows that 7% of Michigan voters could not say for sure who they are voting for. You know, these things are decided on the margins. That is a lot of voters. You made your own case to voters on stage at the DNC last month. How does Kamala Harris win Michigan among the tightest of the blue wall states?
Honestly, three things: turnout, turnout, and turnout. Right? While we are traditionally a purple state, the truth is when we have a high turnout, Democrats win. When we have a low turnout, Republicans win.
So what do you anticipate? Are you seeing the energy for there to be a high turnout in that state? Obviously, just anecdotally, I remember covering President Biden when I was in places like Michigan. There weren't a lot of signs around. Now you're seeing a lot of signs pop up, just a sort of organic evidence that there is a new sense of momentum for her.
Oh, yeah. This is the most excitement and enthusiasm and energy that I've seen from the Democratic Party in a very long time. But with that, because it is expected to be such a close race, we're seeing a lot of chicanery on the part of the RNC and on behalf of the state Republican Party. So, for instance, you know, there's this effort, firstly, to ensure that Cornel West remains on the ballot. And what people don't know about that is a Republican effort, right? One of his attorneys actually was a consultant for Donald Trump, is a member of the Republican National Lawyers Association, is a well-known lawyer in Michigan who advocated against marriage equality, against affirmative action, and against abortion rights. He's Cornel West's attorney. On the other hand, you see this effort now to illegally remove RFK Jr. from the ballot, even though the law is plain as day. RFK Jr. wanted to be nominated by the Natural Law Party. He was. That was certified. And the law expressly says that he cannot now be removed from the ballot, but they still have filed a frivolous lawsuit. And I think it's because a lot of people know that it is likely to be a close election. And they either want to draw, voters to one candidate or draw them away from another.
Can I ask you about another topic that obviously has got a lot of attention nationally, and it relates specifically to Michigan? We saw the kidnapping attempt focused on your state's governor, the Democratic governor, Gretchen Whitmer there. How concerned are you about safety and violence in and around Election Day? And even the conversation about it, there is some fear, could sort of dilute or suppress turnout.
Well, I'm not going to say that we aren't concerned. We are, but that's why we are working so hard to be prepared. And first of all, nobody should worry about their own personal safety. First of all, we have 9 days of early voting, and we have also no reason absentee voting. So anybody can vote from the privacy of their own home. They don't even have to go into the polls. But we are focusing on making sure that the processes are protected. So whether that is election workers, and we've increased penalties for even threatening an election worker, or making certain that whether it's clerks, whether you're talking about county board of canvasser members, state board of canvasser members, all the way up, that people are properly protected, and that, we're ensuring that we're going to have a safe election, but one, of course, that is fair and accurate as well.
Last question that I have time for you right now. Specifically, I want to ask you about what we have seen at a stop in Michigan on Friday. Donald Trump said that he's going to vote against reproductive rights protections in Florida. That's his home state. Michigan, as you know, enshrined protections into law 2 years ago. Is that enough to protect women's access to abortion care in your state?
Not if Donald Trump is reelected, and certainly not if he also has Congress to support him. We know that part of Project 2025, which is the playbook for Donald Trump and the Republicans, is a national abortion ban. So if that happens, of course, that will supersede our state constitution that we worked so hard to amend to include not just abortion rights, but of course, birth control, fertility treatments like IVF. We know all of that is going to be gone and out the window. And states like mine, will be helpless in the face of another Donald Trump presidency.